and off and racing. A little bit slow to stride there was Billy's Joy, this Racing TV handicap, class 6 over 6 furlongs, as they race down the back straight. The early pace there with OK Pal, Dougie Costello looking across to K Sarah in the white jacket. These two going at it ahead of the white face of Sumac. Luke Morris, the jockey, on board that one in third. Just reined back there in third place. Mountain Run, the grey filly, is on the outside. Then Billy's Joy, the orange jacket, alongside the red colours of Sweet Idea, wider out to Alaskan, who's taken a bit of a hold for Kieran Schumacher, but restrained at the back of the field, with Bridgewater bringing up the rear as they come down to the entrance of the home straight, which is halfway in this opener. On the inside, OK Pal. Down the centre, shaken up now, K Sarah. Sumac is beginning to make progress on the inside. The white face, followed through by Billy's Joy. Hard at work is Sweet Idea. Alaskan's taken a long time to get going on the outside. He's been asked lots of questions, and the response is pretty limited at the moment. A furlong left to go, and digging deep is OK Pal. He's fended them all off and picked up quite nicely here. Leads by a couple of lengths, OK Pal. Sumac trying to rein him back with Bridgewater on the inside. OK Pal, though, all the way home to win. Tight for second. On the near side there, Sumac with Bridgewater, and K Sarah ran pretty well close up behind them.
Dougie Costello wins our opener on OK Power for Tony Carroll, Dougie, and that is how you want to do it from stall one. Yeah. Uncontested lead all the way, quicken when you want, and relatively straightforward.
Yeah, look, it took him a while to find his grasp. He's been gelded in the last 3 runs. I just said to Tony last time I rode him a subtle, and I felt the surface was a bit tightly compact for him.
Yep.
And whether it was 6 or 7, he never really lengthened on it. Today was in the right grade, right race, you know. Tony's yards in form, and yeah, it worked straight.
Well, nice start to the evening. Always nice when it works out that way. Well done.
Right, one winner.
Perfect. Thanks, Dougie.
And they're off and racing. Roseanne, the favourite, made a pretty reasonable break here. He's up in the leading half dozen or so for the Unibet Breeders Backing Racing EBF Maiden Stakes over 6 furlongs. Sharp Power's made a good start from his wide draw and comes through now to press the leader, Desert Cop, on the rail, with Roseanne sitting pretty handily close up there on the outside of the green jacket there of Hello Arthur, and also Inspired Know-How's getting involved as well. He's moved up to 3rd place now, the pale blue jacket. High Ovation, blue with the yellow spots, alongside Harry the Hag there with Kadu in the middle of the field as well. Then just behind them is Fornham St Martin in the green sleeves on the rail, together with the white cap there of Havana Heat. Then Pub Club on the inside, and the one that's outpaced is Elusive Tiger. Down towards the final 2 furlongs they come. Desert Cop then making his bid for glory, but Sharp Power is going after him. Jamie Spencer now just asking for a bit more. Hello Arthur up the inside is also pressing the leader as well, but Desert Cop is finding plenty in front and striding on with some purpose here inside the final furlong. He leads by 2 lengths, and Desert Cop will see them off and goes on to win. Tight for second, Sharp Power together there with a photo with Hello Arthur, and behind them Razam, who never really got a blow in, racing together there with High Ovation. set, and off and racing. And Samagon dwelt as these stalls opened, blue and yellow colours, just running a bit green in the early part of this contest. Unlike Raphael Jake, who got away to a great start in this Unibet first division of the restricted maiden stakes, and leads from Starlight Nation, pale blue jacket, with McLean House on the rail in the red and maroon colours, trapped there by Churchill Rose. Wider out, David's Gifts in a good position, the pink and green Diabolo just slotting in alongside McLean House. And then just behind these leaders on the inside, then the white and red colours of NASA, who races together with Creme de Cacao in the yellow colours. They move down the far side of the racecourse past the 4 furlong marker. At this stage, Samagon is trying to make up some ground alongside Star of Kotai. Towards the rear still is Portoro, and Secret Contact brings up the field as they come round to the home straight. Probably about 10 lengths to find that one on the leader, who is Raphael Jake. Coming down the home straight, 2.5 furlongs to go. Look up the inside there, McLean House, Whiteface getting closer all the time. Starlight Nation busy away for John Fahey, and it's McLean House now begins to assert. One that's running on from the back is NASA in the red cap over on the far rail. Just over a furlong left to go here. McLean House the leader, NASA bearing down on the far side. Starlight Nation trying hard as well, but McLean House is up to it and fends them off inside the final half furlong. A late rally on the far side though from NASA, but McLean House goes on to win. A double for David Probert and Andrew Balding. NASA second, Starlight Nation back in third, and an eye-catching run by Samagon, the slow starter, in fourth.
Well, it's been a good 30 minutes for jockey David Probert. This one may be a little bit harder work than Desert Cop, but we'll start at McLean House. Much better behaved generally than what he was in debut, according to Andrew Borden.
Yeah, he's quite a raw, colty type. Didn't handle the prelims at all at Supple. Kind of went a mess, and you know, unfortunately he just got the better of himself. But today was much more of a professional side of him. Got a nice sit beyond the pace, and the extra furlong seemed to help him well. And he relished the last furlong especially, and quite green when he hit the front also. But not quite sure what the future would lie for him. Maybe just as a gelding he might just perform a little bit better, and more improvements be had with him. But he's a horse going places, and I'm sure that they'd have a plan for him.
And Desert Cop was much more straightforward. I heard he was a little bit slow to start off with, but he's really sharpened up nicely and really showed a good turn of foot to put the race to bed nicely.
Yeah, he really surprised us because he doesn't show any of that speed at home, even though on his pedigree he has got it. And he sharpened up really well on his last 2 starts, especially last time making the run in over 7, and we thought we'd take the risk by dropping back furlong. And today was pretty smooth, jumped, sat forward and was able to excel really well, and he gave me a very nice feel, especially last furlong and a half. He excelled himself well to the line. He's a big raw horse and wandered around, and I think he's an exciting horse for the season.
He's definitely one to look forward to. Well done, Dave. Nice 30 minutes work.
Thanks so much, James.
Okay.
And away they go. Master of Chant broke pretty well here, the favourite for the second division of the Unibet restricted maiden. Over 7 furlongs. Kieran O'Neill looking around. He's not sure he wants to lead perhaps, but he's taken on by Prince Nabil. And also right with him is Abadia, the pink and blue colours. Tracking them, and quite keen as well, is Rogue Thunder as they make their way down to the top corner of the racecourse here. Wider out then is State Border. Not much of a pace on here, but it's being set by Prince Nabil as they take the far turn. Leads by a couple of lengths. Abadia in second. State, Master of Chant rather, is back in third on the rail. And then on the outside comes State Border in the pink cap, with Dutch Kingdom sitting in 5th place, just nudged along briefly on that turn. Then as they race past the 4 furlong mark and come down towards the home straight. At this stage, Rogue Thunder is on the inside, followed through by Vaudevillian, and then the blue jacket behind these of Noble Sovereign is trying to pick up as well as they come down the home straight. Just over 2 furlongs left to run. Kentucky Bourbon has got a lot of work on at the back of the field. Down they come inside that point now. Prince Nabil making the best of his way home. On the inside, though, Rogue Thunder is beginning to eat into that lead. Master of Chant is hard at it, is beginning to wear down these 2 leaders under Kieran O'Neill. It's Master of Chant who begins to tough this out, just edging right-handed, but is on top where it matters. Running on late is Dutch Kingdom, but Master of Chant goes on to win. Dutch Kingdom may have got second, ahead of Prince Nabil, close up with Rogue Thunder, and then a bit of a gap to Abadia and Noble Sovereign next. And they're off and racing. 7 furlongs the trip then for this Unibet Support Safe Gambling Fillies handicap. And Royal Bliss began well on the inside and takes them through the first furlong. On the outside, the yellow jacket of So Chic. And in between them there, Lawsbridge Girl just being edged along, nudged along I should say, by Jamie Spencer, settling between them now. Close up for the advantage as they go down towards the far side. Tracked by Silver Nightfall, and then wider out then So Chic just passing the held on to Kensington Agent. Shot is in the rear at this stage, about 5 lengths behind them as they turn over on the far side and go past the 4 furlong marker. Pretty steady pace being set by Royal Bliss and Stefano Kirky. On the outside then, the 2 in the yellow jacket, So Chic in the quartered cap there for David Egan, and flanked there by Abbey's Dream and Mark Wynn, who are a little bit wider into the home straight then. So just over 2.5 furlongs left to cover. Back in 4th on the rail is Silver Nightfall in the pink sleeves there, waiting for the cutaway, and then shaken up behind them Kensington Agent. Shot is hard at work, and Lawsbridge Girl has been a bit outpaced but is now beginning to respond. Anybody's race. It's a tight one this as they approach the final furlong. Kensington Agent gamely hanging on. Silver Nightfall on the far side. Here on the near side, Jamie Spencer and Lawsbridge Girl with a sustained challenge with 100 yards left to go. Digging out deep, Kensington Agent. Over on the far side, Silver Nightfall, and on the near side it's tight, Lawsbridge Girl. It goes to the judge. Silver Nightfall on the far side. Between them then was Kensington Agent, and running on right on the top of them was Lawsbridge Girl.
I'm joined by winning trainer Tony Carroll. A double on the evening. This one was slightly harder work. I thought you might have lost it on the nod, but what a game filly Kensington Agent is.
Yeah, really game. Very competitive filly as well. You know, hearts and big heart she's got, and really nice homebred Lisa Judd, and it was a good tonic for Lisa because she's not been very well, so it's nice for her.
Well, sad to hear, but nice to see a homebred winner. Always means a lot. Easier in race 1. OK Powerfoot, Dougie Costello controlled the race in the front, and you must have been pleased to get his head in front for the first time.
Yeah, he was a nice little horse, and he always looked like he was going to win a race. And today I thought he had a nice easy time in front, and it all fell right for him, so he did his bit tonight.
Got a couple more runners left to go. Conduit Wave in the next. He finds his level on occasion, but it's a competitive handicap.
Yeah, tough race, and he has a chance. He's a nice draw. He'll go forward, and he'll find his form at some stage in the season. Whether it's tonight, I don't know, but they're in good form, and you know what it's like when they're in stables in form. They all run very well.
Yeah, it's always the main thing, but a double in the card's always a nice way to end the evening. Good luck to you later, runners.
Thank you very much.
And they're off and racing. Lara broke pretty well today. A good start made though by Golden Sands, with a mile ahead of them for this Unibet sponsored Class 5 handicap, and is taken on early on the inside then by Kondratiev Wave. These two front runners well known, cutting it out in the early part of the race. On the outside then is the green cap of Havana Gold Rush. Painless Pot is in the leading 4 or 5 as well, as is New Shepherd. The red and white colours of Rogue Force is next. Tucked on the inside is Sisters in the Sky, flanked there by Le Rave. Further back on the inside is Amasine, white cap, just running around a bit, taking a bit of a stronghold, that one. And then further back in the field, as they take the turn on the far side, is You Think So, who's patiently ridden in the yellow cap. 2 lengths further back then to in last Iron Heart, as they take the turn, which brings them down the side of the course. They've gone past halfway. On the inside still, it's Kondratiev Wave, taken on here by Golden Sands on the outer. 2 lengths in third, Havana Gold Rush, together then with on the inside, travelling nicely, Rogue Force, last year's winner in the red and white. New Shepherd busy on the inner in the light blue jacket. Wider out, Le Rave has been pulled to the outside to try and challenge. Asdar's never really landed a blow behind them. Sisters in the Sky is running on as they approach the final furlong and a half here. It's Golden Sands though out in front from Rogue Force, who's trying hard to rein him in. Sisters in the Sky on the inside. Le Rave is finishing off down the centre of the course pretty strongly as well. Well inside the final furlong, Golden Sands is trying to make every yard. He needs the line now. Challenging hard for second is Sisters in the Sky, but Golden Sands just about makes all from Sisters in the Sky. Le Rave with back and forth. They're staying on Asdar ahead of Rogue Force. Sprinters at the ready, and away they go. And they go over 6 furlongs here. And a little bit of a slow start by Hazim, who's dropped in from his high draw though, as the first one to show is the first colours of Midland Park Racing, Silky Wilkie, the white face end just ahead of Tolstoy, with Count Otto prominent. Spirit of Nguru is next to the rail. And they're followed then on the inside by the orange cap of Tiger Bay. Races together there with Strong Power. The green man tracks them. And then the yellow and white of Shallow Hal. Exigency at the back of the field with Hazim. And all these two leaders have got off at a right old lick here, you know. Out in front, it's Silky Wilkie leading from Tolstoy. They're about 6 clear as they turn in. Spirit of Nguru is leading the chasing posse, with Count Otto on his outside being squeezed along. They're racing down towards the final quarter mile here. Has he gone a bit quick here on Silky Wilkie? Sam Fielden now asking him to pick up and shake off Tolstoy, who's battling on bravely. Running on into third is Tiger Bay's. Spirit of Nguru is back in 4th place. Nothing much else has got into it. Strong Power's trying to stay on late. They're well inside the final furlong now, and Silky Wilkie is not for catching. And Silky Wilkie and Sam Fielden make just about every yard. Fine ride. Tolstoy second, Spirit of Nguru third, and then Tiger Bay took 4th.
winning jockey Sam Field just getting a winning photo with the Midland Park winner Silky Wilkie, and it was an absolutely cracking ride by the £7 claimer. Him and Ross O'Ryan slipped the field, and that was a convincing performance from Carl Burke's runner. Well done, Sam.
Thank you.
Was that always a plan to go forward?
I didn't really want to make it, to be honest, but he pinged the gates and had the inside, so I thought I'd use it to my advantage, have the rail. He was going quick enough, but he was always in his comfort zone, you know. He's got such a good cruising speed, and then he can quicken off that as well, and he had everything beat, I think 2 out, so yeah, it's pretty straightforward for me.
Yeah, it was straightforward. Looking at your saddle when you pulled up, I think the girth strap had come undone, so good job. You're well balanced, and Sursingle kept it on.
Yeah, I didn't saddle up that side, so it's not my fault.
Not your fault. Blame the lad. Things are going well for you nowadays, Sam. This is your 3rd full season. You must be delighted riding horses like this for your boss.
Yeah, no, these are the horses you sort of need as an apprentice starting out. They still get you on the map, and like 95 today, it's a good race, and yeah, they're the horses you want, so it's nice. It's very nice of Carl anyway to keep me on him, because yeah, it shows his loyalty, so yeah, so it's very nice of him.
And with the surname Fielden, you're from the Newmarket dynasty as such, Adam Busquets, Shelley and Ross as well, the amateur. Just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so that's where I started out at Julia's, and she got me into racing. And I came to Carl's last year, and that was my first full year as an apprentice. I've done a couple of years amateur, and it was just really a learning curve. It was a big step up, but this year hopefully we can take that next step, and well, I'll just try and ride as many wins as I can, but yeah, I'm very grateful to Carl. He's given me plenty of opportunities, so we'll keep kicking.
Well, eye-catching ride for your £7 claim and not long to a turf. Well done.
Lovely, thank you. Cheers, guys. Thanks.
Lined up, 7 runners, and they're off. They're racing away over 1.5 miles here then for this bet@racingtv.com handicap. Keeping very wide, the Pug, who came out of stall number 7. He's not come across at all yet as Rob Hornby, and he seems very happy just to take his time to tack across to join the early pace setter, Me and Mrs. Jones. Charlie Bennett on board. Tracking in second is Kroner. And now the Pug joins into the main group, takes 3rd place with Sexy Rexy in the orange, and then Davina next to the rail at the back of the field on the black and white colours there. A little respect on the outside of Perfect Gentleman, who's next to the rail, the odds-on favourite Danny Muscat in the red colours of Eve Lodge Racing as they race away from us and go down towards the mile start. So they've covered the first half mile of the contest. It's Me and Mrs. Jones who takes them down the back straight, leading by just over a length. Kroner racing in second, and then a break of 1.5 lengths back then to the Pug, who's on the outside of in 4th on the inner. Then Davina, Sexy Rexy, still waited with is Perfect Gentleman, who won here over 1 mile last time out, but stepping up another half mile here this evening. Looking on at the back is A Little Respect and Joe Mason in the black and white colours as they continue and race inside the final 3/4 of a mile. So they're past the halfway point in this Class 6 closer, and the pace seems to be pretty reasonable. They've all seemed to have settled quite nicely into their rhythm as they reach the end of the back straight now. Me and Mrs. Jones now being joined by Kroner on the outside, Jason Hart. These two now just beginning to, in fact, Kroner's gone past Me and Mrs. Jones, who starts to weaken a bit now, and they go past the 4 marker with Kroner pressing on now. The Pug has moved into second. Sexy Rexy, though, is keeping tabs on that one on the rail. Behind them, as Me and Mrs. Jones weakens out of it, and just trying to make some progress, is Davina with Perfect Gentleman. The Pug has come wide into the straight. A Little Respect has got a bit on as well, and they're coming up now towards the final 1/4 mile, and Kroner, who's up in trip today on a handicap debut, has all of a sudden opened up a big gap of 5 or 6 lengths. Sexy Rexy, who's trying to stay on, is in clear second place at the moment from Perfect Gentleman, who's only keeping on at the same pace here. They're inside the final furlong. This is all over, isn't it? Kroner has served up a very tasty performance here on handicap debut, and she's drawing clear to win very comfortably indeed. Jason Hart and Charlie Johnston for Kirsten Rousing. Sexy Rexy in second place. Third, just was staying on A Little Respect.